the K game, and I'm saying K because of YouTube, but this movie was just okay. This wasn't a very good movie. I wouldn't say this should have been a blockbuster. This felt as if something that if they would have released this on Netflix, it would have done phenomenal. Like front page for 2 or 3 weeks. It just wasn't great. It was cheesy, it was corny. It's the kind of movie you want to watch from home. This is not a movie that I would recommend at all to see in theaters. I just, I don't know. The cast wasn't bad and the action scenes weren't bad, but it was over the top. And I think that's what it was trying to do. For example, all of the fight scenes, any scene that had blood, it like you could tell it was syrup. Like it was just corny. It was just a lot. They'd overdo every single scene. Every explosion was a lot. And that made the movie fun, but it wasn't something worth spending any sort of money on. This is essentially if you had John Wick dumbed down, this is what it would be. This was a one and done movie. There's no reason it should continue. I guess I'm slightly disappointed. You see a lot of interviews with Dave Bautista where he talks about how he wants to expand and be more than just Drax in Guardians of the Galaxy, and he wants to be someone more and have more depth. But then every movie he's cast in is something like this, and it just doesn't do him justice. I don't know if he even has the range to be a great actor at this point. I think that this is someone you'll have to wait another 10, 15 years when they get old and gray, and then he'll start putting out serious roles. But as long as he has his physique, I feel like you're going to get this same cookie cutter, like just corny comedy one liners with action scenes. It doesn't feel authentic. I don't know. I don't want to hate on this movie because there's literally no good movies out until November, but it's just disappointing that the action movies are starting to follow this just archaic model where John Wick, as I've said multiple times, has really just changed everything. And now every movie is trying to rip off of that. The one thing that this movie did that made me smile was the transitions. There's a scene at the very start where they're going over all the actors' names. It's kind of like an early credit scene. Instead of doing all the end credits, they did this. And his character, Dave's character, his name is Joe in the movie, is meeting the love interest. So he's like taking her on dates, and that's how they're kind of showing the love interest instead of drawing it out and making that the bulk of the movie. They do it in this early credit scene where Dave is a hitman in the movie, and as he gets like a confirmed like K, it'll switch to then the love interest. So whenever he like shoots, it'll then like somehow just switch to her, and the transitions were done super well. You could tell they spent a lot of time editing. It's just whoever wrote the script, it was corny. It wasn't fun. Terry Crews character was great, kind of predictable because Terry Crews doesn't really die in movies, so you knew that he was just going to, either switch sides or something was going to happen. But I don't know. I'm ready for good movies to come out, and I can't even make this review longer because this movie was just there. Like it existed, it happened. It was an hour and 41, 42 minutes of my time, and it ended. I'd say, like I said, a 5 out of 10, a 4 out of 10 for an action movies. Wait until this comes out on Netflix, but I guarantee while you're watching this movie in bed, you will spend the majority of your time on TikTok, YouTube, or Instagram just scrolling. Like you are not going to pay this any sort of attention. If you guys disagree and you thought this was the greatest movie of your life, please let me know down below. But again, not worth it. Don't spend money on this garbage.